You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I'm Mitchell Renz. That's Tom Downey. We're not in the studio. We're at home. Big C's not going to slow us down because y'all need content, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All right, Tom, we got an NFL draft Q&A. So if you want your question on the show, you can use hashtag draft, or you can super chat. So we got Malachi Webb, get a picture. Should the Saints draft a corner?
I'm open to that idea. I think they're in okay shape since they re-upped Janoris Jenkins. I think it's still maybe more of a long-term need. I think linebacker is a bigger one, but maybe in round 2 or round 3 or later on in the draft, the Saints find some good value at the cornerback spot. I think that could be an option for them. At some point, I do think they should draft a corner.
Let's go to my man Connor Full, who's got a super chat coming in. Stay healthy, everyone. So I want every single person to type W because y'all washed your hands today, okay? The Big C, it's not slowing us down. Tom and I were like, all right, we got to put out a lot of content for these people. We're stuck at home, and I know y'all are stuck at home as well. So just because the Big C is kind of impacting all of our lives, we think sports, we think laughter, best medicine. So please type W that you washed your hands. Let's get rid of this thing so that way we can all just live our normal lives again. Tom, are you typing W? You better be typing W.
I've washed my hands multiple times today. Every time I get some food or I go to the bathroom, obviously, or whatever, I'm washing my hands heavily with soap. Everyone should be typing W, and if you were told to stay at home, please stay at home. I want this to go away. I want to go back to normal. I don't want football to be impacted.
Bingo, 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 bingo. Let's go to Ramon Villa, who needs to get a picture, and let me clear my throat because I think, Ramon, your caps are on. Seahawks trade down again. Not a question.
Seattle always trades down.
I know, right?
Yeah, I think they will end up trading down in the end. They always do it.
Always do it.
They love
All right,
to
this
do it.
next question's coming in from one of our most loyal watchers, the Ponsik Show, and I'll be honest, I think this guy's got better facial hair than you and me combined.
Yeah, it's a great beard.
Should the Cowboys draft a CeeDee, Lamb, or CJ Henderson if both are available?
Maybe Henderson feels a bigger need, but if CeeDee Lamb is there, I got to take him. I don't know if the Cowboys would because they tend to lock on to guys fairly early in the process, and they might have locked on Henderson already. I'm taking Lamb, and I'll figure out corner later. I'm taking the dynamic receiver, and I'm loading up on offense, and I'll figure out draft and defense as we go along going forward there.
So if you guys love the NFL draft, we were the #1 most watched draft coverage last year. YouTube, Facebook, we do it all. So click subscribe, turn on your notifications, and if you want to follow the best dude in the biz, it's at WhatGoingDowney, which you can see below. Tom and I, we were live for all 7 rounds of the draft, over 20 hours, and breaking news, we get the picks before you see them on TV. So go ahead, click subscribe, because if you love the NFL draft, we're the channel for you. All right, let's go to this next question rolling in here from PJ Smith, who everyone tell him, get a pick. Make a blockbuster Netflix trade that you think could happen on draft night.
Does moving up the Dolphins from 5 to 3 count as a blockbuster trade?
I don't think that's blockbuster. Here, you want a blockbuster trade? Raiders give up 12 and 19 to go up and get Isaiah Simmons or Jeff Okudah.
Okay, that's fine. I like that one. I'd be surprised if they did it, but
I would be too, but we're looking for blockbuster.
That counts as blockbuster. Okay, I'm on board. How about the Eagles moving way up to get the #1 receiver?
If you're old enough or have ever gone to Blockbuster, type B. RIP to Blockbuster. Let's go now to the Phenom, who is seeing a lot of people who, I don't know if you're not new to the channel. If you don't got a picture, I'm going to tell you to get one. And if you're like, wait a minute, I've never heard that before, it's probably because you're not subscribed. So click that sub button. What should my Niners do at 31 after we get our wide receiver at 13?
Trade down. You still need options beyond just the 2 first-round picks. You can trade down into early round 2 and trade down again. You can trade to the middle of round 2. I think they need to acquire more assets. They're still really thin in that area. So unless there's an impact defensive player or interior offensive lineman that you fall in love with, I would trade down if I were San Francisco.
I agree with you, Tom. I agree with you. Let's go to Ben Pervis. Besides receiver, what positions do you think the Eagles pursue in the entire draft? Before you answer that question, remember to get your questions on the show. Use hashtag NFL, or right now we have over, 800 people watching us live. The easiest way to do it is to super chat. Okay, Tom, take it away.
Well, obviously, you mentioned receiver. I still think corner's an area they look into, maybe not as early as they were going to. Linebacker remains an area of focus. I think they could look to develop a young safety as well. And I think running back. I think they'll still spend a mid-ish round pick on a running back to pair with Miles Sanders. I think right now the Eagles are at a pretty good value of picks versus needs. So maybe they could get aggressive and trade up for somebody, which they've said before they've explored that. They just didn't have the assets they felt was worthwhile. Of course, they did move up for Andre Dillard last year. I think you can see something similar this year. Maybe not in round one, but maybe later on in the NFL draft.
So here at Chat Sports, we do NFL. We also do college football stuff as well. So we want you to shout out your favorite college football team. I grew up in Pennsylvania. Shout out to people in the 570. I went to Penn State games my entire life, so I guess I'd be a Penn Stater. Mm-hmm. What about you, Tom?
Well, I'm going to go with the great Miami of Ohio Redhawks, a.k.a. the real Miami. They ended the year in both baseball and basketball on W's. They were the last baseball team to play a game. I am claiming a College World Series championship for the baseball team, and I'm also claiming the MAC championship in basketball because they beat the highest seed that played it before, the buys and all that really came into effect. So I'm claiming championships in both.
All right, so continue to shout out your favorite college football team. Let's hop back in now to this draft Q&A where I got Alex Johansson.
There you go.
Did I get that right? Who should Atlanta draft in the first round?
I think corner makes a lot of sense for them. Desmond Trufant is gone. I don't think Kendall Sheffield's an outside guy. Isaiah Oliver's never quite been yet, at least what they've expected. He might be more of a number 2 in the end. So I think corner makes a lot of sense at number 16 overall. I think defensive line, too. Maybe Derek Brown or Javon Kinlaw are on the board. I think those are the two areas that make the most sense right now for me for Atlanta.
Let's go to my man Dale Anderson. Why isn't Tua being mentioned as number 2 pick to Redskins? You want Tua in 3 years over Haskins. Tua should be second pick.
If Tua's healthy, I think that's a very valid discussion to have. I don't know what the medical looks like for Tua. We'll find out on draft night based on where he goes. But I think the biggest reason why you didn't hire an offensive-minded guy. You hired Ron Rivera. That is a defensive-minded coach. It's like he's coming in and saying, I know what I'm doing. Give me this particular quarterback. And Dwayne Haskins was a Snyder pick. The owner wanted him. He's still in charge. So it's not quite the same comparison as Josh Rosen last year. The owner wanted him. The owner got his guy. I think that's a key thing for the Redskins and why it's a little bit different than, say, Rosen or versus Kyler Murray, which obviously so far has worked out pretty well for Arizona. I think the Redskins are a little bit more committed to Haskins than they were. But the Redskins are going to explore Tua. That's been something we've discussed on the show. I'm just not convinced that's up that they end up going.
I got a special deal that I'm going to talk to you all about. Chatsports.com/NFL jersey. If you need a new jersey, type me in the comments section because for a limited time, every jersey that you see on screen here, plus hundreds more, up to 25% off when you go to the link below, chatsports.com/NFL jersey. And when you use promo code SPROUT, SPROUT, at checkout. So any team, any jersey, your favorite player. So I see a lot of me's in the comments. So Ramon Villa, Philly J, time for football. I expect you all to go get a new NFL jersey. Chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Tom, I'm going to put you on the spot. Khalil Mack jersey. Would you get it? Why for yes and for no?
You know what? I would get it, and I would give it to one of my Chicago family people. That's what I would do.
It's a good answer. I would get it, give it to a Raider fan, and then just let them have fun, see what they would do with it.
Terrible idea.
Mack is very well respected among the Raiders community. He is.
Okay.
He is. All right, let's go to Sealy. Get a pick. Bigger Steely, Reagor or Duvernay?
Shout out saying Bigger Steely because you just said in Sealy as the name there. Great job, Mitch.
I did that on purpose.
Okay, sure.
I did.
It depends on where Reagor goes. If I get Reagor in round 2, I'm all aboard that train. If he goes in round 1, I'm not going to consider him a steal. Duvernay, I think, will go around round 4. And I think as a slot with some vertical ability and some return ability, there will be value there. So if Reagor in round 2, if that's where he goes, give me him. If not, I actually might lean toward Duvernay, even though obviously I think Jalen Reagor is the better player.
Dom, do you know what time it is?
Time for football?
Bingo. Some mock drafts have the Bucs taking Henry Ruggs at 14. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mentioned the Cowboys getting potentially Lamb and Cooper and Gallup. Evans, Godwin, and Henry Ruggs, that's the best trio in the NFL receiver. You'll keep Godwin in the slot. Ruggs brings you vertical speed off the top. I mean, that offense is deadly, and Brady can just slice and dice his way out there. I still wonder if offensive line might be a better fit just because of the huge hole they have at tackle, and you got to have protection and get the ball to your receivers, obviously. But I wouldn't hate Ruggs at 14. I would be on board with that pick if they don't address receiver beforehand.
Let's go to this question, why not? And if we get a $20 super chat, I'll take a giant shot of sriracha sauce because, hey, why not? What corner has more upside for my Chiefs? Trayvon Diggs, Christian Fulton, Jeff Gladney, AJ Terrell, or Noah Igbenogany?
Fulton's my guy. That's the guy that I view as the best corner of that grouping. Then I've kind of got Gladney and Diggs close to them in terms of upside. I got some speed concerns with Diggs, but because he's only been recently playing corner, that does fit the mold of upside. I do think that Gladney is a really good player and frankly a little bit underrated right now amongst the general draft community in terms of the major guys. Then it comes down to AJ Terrell and Noah Igbenogany. But if the Chiefs can get Fulton, Gladney, or Diggs, that's a good round one option.
So we got Chris Haskins coming up now. Where is the best place to watch college game tape besides YouTube? Tom, you answer that. I'm going to try to get somebody here in my house to go get me some sriracha.
Yeah, I don't know why you said that if you didn't have it in front of you. In terms of beyond YouTube, your options are pretty limited. There's a bit of a black market out there for college football, all 22. So if you can get someone, if you know somebody, that's how you get it. But beyond that, it's not publicly available or anything like that, which is unfortunate. But in the end, the YouTube places you're watching, I know it's the broadcast cut-ups. I assume it's what you're doing there, Chris. That's the best route to go, just in terms of simplicity and not trying to get involved in what is an awkward black market for all 22.
So we got the Ponsik Show now. I got my sriracha coming in here.
Okay.
Got the $20 super chat, so I'll chug it after this, the Ponsik Show. We got what team should trade back and get as many picks?
Niners make a lot of sense to me just because they still need mid-round picks. There's no second rounder. There's no third. There's no fourth, and their fifth is kind of a mid-round pick as well. Other teams light on draft capital. I could kind of see the Patriots end up being a fit there if they want to try and acquire future draft capital. Maybe a team like the Chiefs tries to add more. Typically teams that are kind of built pretty well right now, but are in line to lose players going forward, teams that need cheap young depth, those are the teams that trade down. But I think Seattle makes them, or not Seattle, I saw that question pop up. I think the Niners, Seattle always trades down. I think the Niners make the most sense in the end in terms of needs for trading down and acquiring extra draft picks.
So, Tom, you and I both know we were the number one most watched NFL draft coverage last year. So subscribe and turn on those notifications so you know when we go live. Tell people why they should subscribe to Chat Sports and the draft. And y'all send in the $20 super chat. So I'm going to chug some sriracha. So, Tom, you talk why they should subscribe.
All right, well, Mitch chugs that here, which is gross because I don't even like sriracha. We were the most watched draft coverage last year. We get the picks in, at least we did the past couple of years, before anybody else. And unlike the rest of the NFL, we actually pay attention to the day 3 picks. I can't even tell if Mitch is chugging anything. But we will talk about every single player who gets picked. We will not cut away to random coach interviews and talk about the round 2 guys you already heard about. When day 3 comes, we will talk about every single player. Last year, the NFL truck got stumped on Quentin Bell when the Raiders took him. Didn't happen here. I knew who that was. We're going to keep you covered on everything around the NFL draft, both during the draft and in the middle. Also, Mitch, you couldn't see anything, dude.
You couldn't? All right.
Fix your mic.
I'm going to go get a shot glass.
No,
Alex,
just fix your mic.
We will. We'll get it.
No, right, fix your mic.
NFL draft.
There you go.
Should the NFL draft be pushed back? Let's answer that.
Okay. As we wait for the shot glass to come in. Look, I think there's a real chance this happens, guys. I'm not sure it's going to happen. The NFL doesn't want it to. You guys can get your votes in, but I think there's a real chance the draft gets pushed back, even if it's just like a month. So get your votes in. Mitch, take that chug of sriracha. There you go.
Oh God.
Yeah, that one's not as good, huh?